If you're a man over 50, a bad blazer can make you look tired, bulky, or stuck in the past. But the right blazer can take 10 years off your image without you pretending to be 25. This video is your modern blazer playbook. By the end, you'll know exactly which fabrics, colors, and details make a blazer look powerful and current on a man in his 50s and 60s, and which ones quietly age you. You'll be able to walk into any store, ignore 80% of the racks, and go straight to the blazers that will still look sharp on you 5 years from now. Let's start with the foundation, fabric. Because if you get the fabric wrong, no slim fit or trendy detail will save the blazer. Timeless fabric, modern presence. When you're over 50, your blazer fabric has to work harder. It has to drape cleanly over a changing body, resist wrinkles, and still look sharp from morning to night. That's why your first filter is simple. Choose smooth, medium weight wool as your default. It's the most forgiving, the most refined, and it looks right in almost every setting. Avoid shiny, flimsy fabrics that cling to your body or catch the light like a cheap suit. Those materials make every line and curve more obvious and can look a little desperate, like you're trying too hard. Instead, look for a matte finish and a firm hand when you touch the blazer. If it feels like it has some structure without being stiff, you're in the right zone. For a relaxed, modern edge, add 1 or 2 unstructured blazers in wool cotton or wool linen blends. These are softer in the shoulders, lighter in weight, and perfect with a polo or a crisp t-shirt on the weekend. The key is still quality, subtle texture, no shine, and a fabric that falls cleanly instead of clinging. Reserve pure linen or very textured fabrics as occasional pieces, not the core of your wardrobe. Linen can be great in summer, but at our age, too many deep wrinkles can quickly cross the line from relaxed to sloppy. If you choose it, keep it in muted colors and pair it with a simple shirt so the blazer remains the star. Color that never dates you. The fastest way to make a blazer look dated is loud color. The second fastest is the wrong shade for your skin and hair. At 50 plus, you want your blazer colors to look intentional, not attention hungry. Think strong, subtle, and easy to combine. Your power trio is navy, charcoal, and mid-gray. A navy blazer is your workhorse, with jeans, with gray trousers, over a white shirt, over a black knit. Charcoal and mid-gray give you a slightly more serious, refined look that works beautifully in business or evening settings. These 3 colors will quietly do 80% of the work in your blazer rotation. Once those are in place, bring in depth with muted tones. Deep olive, tobacco brown, and dark chocolate are incredibly flattering on mature men. They add warmth and richness without shouting. Pair them with simple pieces underneath so the blazer's color does the talking. Be careful with bright blues, bold burgundies, and unusual colors. They can work, but they date quickly and are harder to repeat without people thinking, "Oh, that blazer again." When in doubt, ask yourself, will this still look sharp on me 5 years from now? If you hesitate, leave it on the rack and go back to navy, gray, or deep earth tones. Patterns that work with your age, not against it. Patterns are where many men over 50 get into trouble with blazers. Big checks, loud plaids, and high contrast stripes can age you twice. First, because they look busy. Second, because they go out of style fast. Your safest, most elegant move is solid colors with texture. A navy hopsack blazer, a subtle bird's eye gray, or a faintly melange charcoal give you visual interest without obvious pattern. From a distance, they look clean and modern. Up close, they show depth and quality. This is the kind of detail that quietly impresses people who know what they're looking at. If you like patterns, keep them subtle and low contrast. A very fine window pane that's almost the same tone as the blazer's base color can look sharp. A gentle herringbone in gray or brown adds character without stealing the scene. The rule is simple: if you can see the pattern from across the room, it's probably too loud. Also think about how often you want to wear the blazer. A big plaid might look interesting the first time, but it's memorable. That means you can't repeat it as often without feeling like you're wearing a costume. A subtle pattern or solid with texture can appear in your rotation twice a week and nobody will think twice. The right structure for a mature body. Your body at 50 is different from your body at 30. Your blazer needs to respect that. Too tight and it highlights every curve. Too loose and you disappear inside it. The goal is clean, strong lines that give you shape without squeezing you. Look for a blazer with light structure in the chest and shoulders. A little canvas and a clean shoulder line help you look more upright and powerful. Avoid heavy shoulder padding that makes you look like you're wearing your old 1990s suit. On the other hand, if you have sloping shoulders, a completely unstructured blazer can collapse and make you look tired. Pay attention to how the blazer closes. When you button it, there should be no pulling across the middle, but also no loose fabric ballooning out. You want a gentle V-shape that hints at a waist without forcing one. If the blazer fits in the shoulders and chest, a tailor can often clean up the waist and sleeves for a sharp result. Length matters more than you think. If the blazer is too short, it can look like you shrank your jacket in the wash and borrowed a younger man's style. If it's too long, it drags your whole frame down. Aim for a length that covers your seat and splits the distance between your neck and the floor in a balanced way. This gives you presence, not volume. Details that quietly signal class. When you're over 50, your blazer details should whisper quality, not scream for attention. This is where many men get trapped by trends. Contrast stitching, wild buttons, flashy lining, they all look clever for about 6 months. Then they just look dated. Start with the lapels. A classic notch lapel in a moderate width is your safest, most timeless choice. Too skinny and it looks like you're chasing trends. Too wide and you're back in a 1970s time capsule. You want something that lines up roughly with the middle of your shoulder, balanced and calm. Buttons matter more than you think. Skip the shiny, cheap plastic. Look for matte horn, dark brown, or smoky gray buttons that blend with the fabric. They add depth without drawing the eye. And avoid novelty buttons or metal that looks like it belongs on a costume. You want people to notice how good you look, not how fun your buttons are. Inside the blazer, lining tells a story. A full lining in a dark, simple color is practical and polished. If you like a touch of personality, keep it subtle, a deep burgundy lining in a navy blazer, or a dark forest green inside a gray jacket. Nobody needs to see neon when you move your arm. Refined men keep the surprise for those who look closely, not for the whole room. Smart pairings that keep the blazer in charge. A blazer is the leader of your outfit. Everything else should support it, not fight it. At 50 plus, this balance is what keeps you looking modern instead of overstyled. You want to look like the kind of man who knows exactly what he's doing, without making a show of it. With jeans, choose a blazer in a smooth, dark fabric like navy wool or a textured gray. Keep the denim dark or mid-blue, with a straight or slightly tapered leg. The blazer brings the refinement, the jeans bring the ease. Together, they say you're relaxed but still in control of your appearance. With dress trousers or chinos, let the blazer remain the sharpest piece. If your blazer is dark, go lighter on the pants. If the blazer is lighter, go a shade or two darker on the bottom. Underneath, a simple white or light blue shirt, or a fine knit polo, keeps the focus on the blazer's lines and fabric. Even with a t-shirt, the blazer must stay the star. Choose a clean, high-quality tee in white, gray, or black, no logos. The moment the t-shirt becomes louder than the blazer, you've lost the balance. Remember, the blazer is the frame. Everything else is there to make you look strong inside that frame. A simple rotation that works for years. You don't need a closet full of blazers. You need a tight rotation of the right ones. This is where men over 50 can really separate themselves. Not by owning more, but by owning better. Start with one navy wool blazer with light structure and a matte finish. This is your anchor. You can wear it to dinners, casual Fridays, and family events. It goes with jeans, gray trousers, chinos, even dark tailored joggers if you keep everything else clean and simple. Add a gray blazer in a subtle texture, like hopsack or a soft melange. This one works beautifully in more serious settings. It pairs well with black, navy, and charcoal pants, and instantly upgrades a simple white shirt. Together with the navy, you now have two blazers that can cover most of your week. Then, if your lifestyle calls for it, introduce one relaxed blazer in a wool cotton or wool linen blend. Something in deep olive, brown, or a muted blue. This gives you a more casual option that still looks refined. With those three, you're not chasing trends. You're building a small, powerful blazer wardrobe that will serve you for years. If you're over 50, a modern blazer is not about pretending to be younger. It's about showing up as the sharpest version of the man you already are. The right fabric, the right color, the right details, they don't shout. They